Hello, hello, hello. We're super live right now with not enough lighting. I didn't put all my lights on. But TD, I know you identify with me because I know you're having lights on, lights off out there. So, hi, everybody. Everybody's in the chats. So, listen, this is what I'm going to do. Mixtape Monday, I didn't get to Mixtape Monday because of Father's Day. Father's Day was awesome. I got to see my dad. I got to see my father-in-law. And shockingly, all of my siblings were in the same place at the same time. We were all there and we got a family picture. We were only missing these were not there. We're going to Photoshop them in. I made a joke that I'm going to make a cardboard cutout out of my son because he's never there. But so Father's Day was great. So I said I would do a recording last night, but one of our friends had surgery. And so I was taking care of him. And Gregopedia and I were going over there. Gregopedia's in the house. Greg, how are you?
All
right. So TD, we have a huge family. So like my mother has been trying to get a picture, like a Christmas card picture of everybody, and we're all kind of thrown to the four corners of the universe. So it was really great. My dad was really stoked. So we got 29 people in here. Guys, smash that like button. Smash it. Hit my like button. I'm not seeing any likes yet, but I love it that everybody's here. So real quick, we're going to go through Mixtape Monday requests. They're all pop culture stuff. They're all really cool stuff. You have sick horses to take care of? Oh, sweetie pie, that stinks. So Grumpy said, "Hey, Greg, you damp squid." It's damp squib. Wifey's in the house. I see everybody there. Hi, Amanda. I saw you go by. So we're gonna go through the Mixtape Monday. If you want your own little mini reading, you can do super chat, super sticker. I did pin up at the top my cash apps. You can take care of that. And that'll be great. You just make sure that the super chats are better because I can see what your question is, but make sure you do them at the same time. Don't make me guess what you're asking. So first question is an oldie but a goodie, and it was somebody named Rosebell, which is a great name. Checked out my old reading on Harry where we asked if Harry was going to lose his title. So hi, Katie. I see you. I haven't seen you in a while, sweetie. So I haven't done a lot of production this week, but tomorrow's going to be a big production day for me. And I have some cool stuff coming up. My class is going to go digital over the next couple of weeks. So I'm working on the production for that. We're going to put it on a platform and you guys can buy my tarot class. So you don't have to take a class live with me. I know the price point's a little bit out of range for some people in this kind of economy. So I figured out a workaround. I'm going to do the digital class. You guys can take that. I have a bunch of students in mind that are in the chats all the time. TD and Deborah, you guys are students of mine. You know what it's like to study tarot with me. So let's do this. So what at this point in time, will Harry lose his title? Let's focus on King Charles first. Let's see if King Charles is going to remove that title. I'm going to make this nice and big. And once again, thank you everybody for being here. You got me for a couple hours because I got a left coast reading to do after this. So persnickety, we're going to get to Britney. We're going to do Britney too. Penny, we're going to get to Britney. Don't you worry. So, will King Charles take Harry's title? He is starting to get less reminiscent about the past. And I think there is a little bit of a relief factor, not the pain relief solution, but I think there's a little bit of a relief factor from not having him around. So I do think that this is a possibility. I think that King Charles may well think that it is a little bit brighter and a little bit better. Grumpy, I'm going to get to you. I'm going to try and star some comments as they're going by, but the chat's going fast, kids. The chat is going fast. Penny, Grumpy did write a song for our international happy hour, and I posted it up on my community page. Oh, and wifey, thank you. So I also still have a 20% off sale. It's going on for the whole summer. It does give you guidance. We find the yellow brick road and get you from point A to point B for whatever you want to manifest or whatever you want to do. We'll talk about it a little bit more. You get a little bitty reading here. You can book a bigger one with me as well. Okay. So it looks like, King Charles is seeing the value in not having Harry around. And the smoke screen is clearing. We're getting that smoke screen is clearing. Oh, Marie, your question's coming up too about Celine Dion. So stick around, Missy. We're also going to talk about Richard Gere and Bradley Cooper. And Humanaki made a request about Joan Rivers, and Barbara made a request about the death of Twitch. So was it part of the whole Diddy thing? So stick around, Marie. Stick around because I'm going to get to yours as well. So the gaslighting here, the smoke screen is clearing. We are going to see that go away. I think he is moving swiftly, but what is he moving swiftly toward? Because I think he's out of patience with that strength in reverse. I think he's out of patience. He is going to kill him with kindness. There's that King of Cups, but he's going to take away the money with that Queen of Pentacles. And over here, he's going to put down the Emperor, the scepter for the Emperor. So what does that mean? What does that mean? Is he going to become more of a dad? He's going to address the conflict. Give him a kiss. Give him a kiss. That sun is a good card. That sun is a good card. He's going to illustrate how standing alone has been a little bit difficult for him. And then under the surface, what is all this about? Trying to get his wish, which I believe is get his son back. But let's see what the card says. Get his son back under his roof. So I think King Charles is still in the negotiation period. I think he still thinks that there's hope. He's still trying to bring him back. And I think he's enlisting some other people. So maybe that rumor that we had with Harry seeking out friendships again and trying to get a home back in England, maybe there's something to that. Maybe King Charles has something to do with that. So let's check this out. I mean, if King Charles is trying to save him before William takes the throne, what would William do? What would William do? And everybody, if you want to hear an awesome song, Grumpy Sapper wrote a fun song about our international happy hour that we have. We have this awesome international happy hour. I'm going to tell you the first one, it was a time traveler happy hour, because the next thing I knew, I woke up the next day with a huge hangover. So I'm going to take it easy on this one. I'm not going to go too bananas this year. Did King Charles come in? I know King Charles. I'm sorry. I hope you liked my reading. Hi, Annette. I see Annette there. So if King Charles is trying to negotiate to get Harry back, is he doing it because William is adamant about knocking this guy back? So let's see. Ooh. Yeah, William is all about not suffer fools lightly, but we've got the enlistment here of other people. The enlistment of other people. But he doesn't want to give him any more money. There's no money going out the door. It's you're in and you're cared for, or you're out and you're not cared for, meaning you're not getting those dollars. You're not getting them. So what's our dominant energy here? It's, ish or get off the pot. I hate that saying, but that is what William would lay down at this point. It's ish or get off the pot. Okay. So tomatoes will make my hangover go away. I hope that I don't run into another one anytime soon. So yeah, persnickety, I think he really is at the point where he's like, don't, you can't write anymore. You can't show our slip anymore. So, under here, William is showing that he has the, thanks Josh for sharing. I appreciate that. So William is showing that he has the ability to knock the bottom out of Harry. That means something different here, doesn't it? Knock the bottom out of something. Isn't that like a Friday night reference?
I don't think so.
Oh, I thought it was. His Majesty King Charles III is here, Greg.
Oh.
Good evening, Your Majesty. So, wifey, I could never do hair of the dog. That is not something that I am capable of doing. Anna Perkins, I agree. I think when Queen Margrethe of Denmark, when she did abdicate in favor of her son, I did a reading that Camilla and Charles were very interested in how that process looked, and not so much abdicating and passing on the responsibility, but a retirement of sorts, getting to a certain point and retiring and being able to have the joy of seeing his son reign in his stead and still being there to assist. There are fairy tales that we've heard this happen in. So, who knows? Hey, Mercury and Leo, I think I owe you an email. I think I do. If I do, email me back because it's been a crazy, crazy week this week. Yeah, it has been a bananas week. So I do think that William is pushing him to make a decision. Make a decision. Which team are you on? We have that devil card there. You know that devil always shows up when we talk about Harry. So now Barbara, lovely, lovely Barbara asked about the death of Twitch. Now, I don't know a whole lot about him, but oh my goodness, King Charles. Camilla loves this. I love Camilla. I would love to have a gin and tonic with her. Oh my goodness, I love that. I'm partial to Empress 1901. Just so you know, I'm not a Pimm's gal. Is it Pimm's? Is Pimm's gin? Pimm's is gin, or is Pimm's the mix? I think it's the mix, but I'm not sure. But I am partial to butterfly pea flower gin myself. So the Twitch situation, what I know is that he was a dancer, a very talented dancer, and he did remove himself from the earth plane, allegedly. So Barbara asked, was this part of the Diddy thing? And was he about to reveal something? So let's start with the was he about to reveal something? Let's see that. Was he about to reveal something? And remember, if you guys want your own readings, just super chat, put it in bold. I will come around to it. So here is, now this card immediately presents an interesting dilemma with this reading, because this is the relief from agony. So this could be taking yourself off the earth plane. That could be that card. So the Knight of Swords is someone who is moving rashly and without a lot of forethought. Okay. Again, people that are just coming in, we're reading on Twitch. The Lover's card is coming together. The Home card in reverse. Dominant energy. So I absolutely am getting that this is a choice, and King Charles is loving Grumpy's song. So you can go see it. It's in the comments. There's a link in the comments. It's also on my community page. It's a great song. Grumpy wrote it. So I think that this was a decision that he had to make. So I am just going to say that I do think that he was the agent of it. But I think that there were other circumstances that were involved. The Lover's card means that there was another player involved. The Two of Wands is having a decision, but it's a deconstructive decision to make. And there's one of two. If you choose to go one way, then Marie, I'm going to star your comment. I see it there. If you choose to go one way, it's going to be a rough path. If you choose to go another way, it's going to be a really rough path. All of the decisions at hand with this Two of Pentacles were going to be earth shattering, very, very shaky, very upsetting. Under the surface, Who said that he maybe was going to reveal something? Was that Barbara? I think Barbara said that. Yes. So the moon, the desire to reveal something was there. So did it have to do with Diddy? The Jersey accent came out. You know, it's a good night when Anna Miller shows up, right, Greg? Huh? Oh, you're playing your game? I thought you said you were going to participate tonight.
I will. Getting to the point where I can see.
Was it something about, yep. Guys, I think we're on to something here. Oh dear. So, all right, so we got some interesting stuff here. Let's talk about, we're going to jump right to this magician and the King of Pentacles, okay? So the sword in reverse is things that are unsavory, things needing to be said that maybe are being stifled about the man with the bag and this magician. So when we teach tarot, when we look at the magician is the Sylvia, I see your question. I started. I'll get to it. So the magician is the magical spiritual agent that pushes the fool out into the terrestrial world with the high priestess so that the emperor and the empress can raise him on planet Earth. But when we're talking about a magician in real life, this is sometimes a playa. This is the guy who has everything. This is the guy who you're standing there, maybe it's the 90s and you still smoke, and he just comes out with this fancy lighter out of nowhere. Or he shows up and just happens to have a coach outside for you in the pouring rain when you need a ride. This guy magically pulls things out and dazzles you. It's sometimes, a lot of the time, an illusion. So the illusion of this money and good times with that King of Cups in the upright. So I'm saying, Barbara, I think you may be onto something. I think Twitch may have known something about the underbelly that we have been hearing about over the last few weeks. Weeks or months? Has it been months since Diddy had the raid? I don't know. But the Ace of Wands here would be an undoing, saying bad things to undo the operation that was in place. So, yeah, I think there's something to this. That is going to be a much longer reading. I don't want to get too deep into it because I want to make sure I get to you guys. So, this is going to be fun. Humanaki. I have to sing for Humanaki because I love Humanaki. So Humanaki has asked about Joan Rivers. How is she? And does she have anything to say? Darling, I'm sure she has something to say. I love Joan Rivers. I loved her. You know, I am not one of those people. I mean, when you can't go under anesthesia too many times. But I do think that there was something very odd about what happened with her. And I think it's terrible that there were people that were in that OR that took pictures of her after she had passed away, after she passed away. So, you know, I think that there's something to that. So, let's look at the death of Joan Rivers before we tap into her. Okay. Was it her time? Oh, you know what? Actually, guys, hang on. I'm going to shuffle these just one more time. And then we're going to go to the Hydesville Tarot, still using this from last week. Mercury and Leo. Yeah. We're going to talk about James Hetfield too. So let's see. Joan Rivers. Can we talk? Joan? the exit? Was that the correct time? Was that when she was supposed to go? So a lot of you know that I do. I'm getting certified in past life therapy. One of the things that's very interesting is when we pass on, if we have been taken out a little bit early, if someone had some did something and took us out a little bit early, we age on the other side. We continue to age up until the point where we would have naturally left. So was there something amiss? Strength, yes. It was not oh yeah, not her time. It was not her time. It was a forced time. Not patient. The strength card is working with the animal corporeal body, and when we get that in reverse, that is kind of managing that, and we get to the world, we get to the end card. So let's see what Joan has to say. So the first thing that we have here is there's no good direction to go, and there's no leadership. So that's something that I think is very interesting, because there is no leadership in the entertainment industry. The kings are falling in the entertainment industry. They are falling down. But it is not the end of the world yet. It is not closing out yet, because the rats have not been routed out yet. There are individuals that are still very much undercover and very much doing their deeds. And I dropped a card. Let me get that sloppy shuffle, guys. We're going to throw it on the table. They are still doing their deeds, well protected within the walls of Hollywood and the confines. The broken hearts are healing, but there are more that are being broken. So it's there are some that have come to the surface, and I think we're talking about how the Me Too movement. There are some that are coming to the surface, but it's ongoing. It's still going. The kings are falling, but not all of them. There are still things. There are lieutenants and agents of these kings that are still functioning. Now, the worst part is that the agents of the kings don't have the money or the means of the kings. The kings could do it a little bit quieter. There was more pageantry. There was more illusion that went with it. But these agents are cruel. These agents are, they're like animal tamers. And so I think the industry, if you guys are picking up what I'm laying down, I think the industry is getting far more cruel and far more brutal. It will come to a head at some point. These guys are going to be routed out because they are not careful. They are not quiet. They have people, the agents have people, and I don't mean like talent agents. I mean the agents of the king, the operators. They don't have good people in their employ. They have dogs in their employ, and I like dogs. I hate using that word. The sadness will continue. This is the people that are going to be outed. Everybody keeps saying this. We're going to be shocked. It's going to be faces and names that we love. It's going to be people and things that we adore, things from our childhood that are going to slap us in the face, but it will bring anew a better entertainment industry, unfortunately. What else, Joan? What else do you have to tell us? Joan Rivers. Joan Rivers. How are you doing? Where are you, Miss Joan? I asked her what you had to say before I even asked what you had to do. Like, what's going on? What is your experience like right now? So, Greg and I, we had lost a dear friend some time ago, and he was very active in our house and presented here and did a number of things around our house. And just recently, we were talking about it, and we both sensed, because Greg is becoming psychic just by hanging around with me. We both sensed that he's still in the in-between lives, but he's kind of transformed into more of his spirit as opposed to the terrestrial individual that we knew, which is something that does happen. You can start to turn into more of your like overhead spirit, your parent's spirit, and that would be the soul, I guess, as opposed to your terrestrial spirit. So please follow Grumpy's instructions and hit that like bell, please. Like button. Hit the bell too if you're not subscribed. Only about I think it was like 63% of my watchers are subscribed, which is great because usually it's like 90. So you guys are all like really cool. Oh, Cliff Burton. I'm going to star that because I'll tell you where I was the night Cliff Burton died. I was in a very interesting place when Cliff Burton died. So how is Joan? Is she in that in-between world? Is she turning into something else? Did we get her back yet? Nope, she's still in the in-between. She's still there. She's got some time. There's some things that she needs to work out. When we go into that in-between zone, what we have to do is work with our spiritual HR directors and decide what we're going to work on in the next lifetime. Bonsoir, Francois. So we do have to work on some things. So what does she have to work on? The pain of that exit, the pain of the exit and not being there. I presume this is for her daughter, not being there for her family and not being there for the things that she needs to see. So sometimes we'll stay in that in-between zone so that we can kind of keep an eye on everybody here terrestrially. Whew. Okay, let me step out of Joan Rivers.
If she continues to age, does she get like ghost plastic surgery?
I don't know. So Gregopedia and I, every day when I get dressed, I dress according to my ghost clothes. So like if I have a really bad outfit on, I'm worried that something is going to happen to me and I'm going to be stuck in these ghost clothes forever. So I really do try and make an effort to have my bra and panties match and have my outfit look good and have makeup on. Because if I died with bad hair and makeup, I would be really... Those of you that know me know that I use water for grounding. A lot of the time I'll take a shower after a big heavy read. So a glass of water does help me ground a little and kind of wash that Joan out of my system. Because she'll probably go, oh, sweetie, get rid of those boobs. They're ridiculous. She would. She'd go, you need the Ozempic and get rid of those boobs. Oh, how do you fit in anything? So TMI. Sorry, TD. I can't help it. They come into the room like 5 minutes before me. So I'm just made like this. God made me like this. Huh? I was born this way. As Scooter would say, you've been blessed. So, all right. So Celine Dion. Now, I heard some news about Celine Dion. I heard, she's got stiff person syndrome, which is an autoimmune issue. And she has been in treatment for it. And basically, she's been having like these tremors now that have been very difficult to control. And there was, I guess, a documentary with her tremoring. And they had asked her, do you want us to shut off the... Sorry, we're in the heat dome here in New Jersey. So I'm just trying to keep cool. It's actually really cool in our basement. We do have air conditioning. We don't live like savages, but we I have an uncle that does air conditioning, so he takes good care of us. But so this documentary, she actually let them continue to do the taping of it. So is she still with us? I know that's the number one question from Marie Desjacques. Is she still with us? Ooh, that is an interesting card when we ask if someone is still with us. Do you know why? Because this is that they are exiting and losing they're trying to stay. If we got this one, it would be really fighting very hard to stay. But this is she's losing her grip. She is losing her grip. So let's see what's going on. I want to check out her lungs real quick. Let's do the lungs. Ooh. There's something going on with her lungs. I'm getting that sensation here that and as a singer, her lungs are obviously very important. Her vocal cords, because this autoimmune system disease does or condition affects the muscle, the vocal cords are going to be very. Now she did sing in this, and I did not see this documentary. I just heard about it. But this feels like these are weakened from not exercise. So it's not like they're stiffening, but they're weakened from not being utilized. But there's something about the lungs. The lungs are not functioning properly. And now I don't know if that's the muscles that open. Are there muscles that open and close your breathing, Greg?
Diaphragm.
It's the diaphragm is the muscle that does that, because I'm getting the sense that there's going to be some kind of apparatus that needs to be implemented. So I don't know if they're going to have her on oxygen or if they're going to have some sort of mechanism helping her breathe. So
intubation would just be forced air.
I don't think it's intubation though. It's something while she's like kind of walking around. It's weird. I've never experienced anything like it. I don't feel like it's in her nose, and I don't feel like it's in her mouth. I don't. Maybe they're gonna. I don't know. I hate to say it. Let's kind of put these off to the side for a second because the lungs jumped out at me. Let's kind of look at the timeline for her. It's feeling very odd. Hanging on very much for those kids. She's really hanging on for those kids. This thing has gotten a hold of her. This autoimmune thing has really gotten a hold of her. It's very deep in the tissues now, unfortunately. She is still fighting this, though. It's a tough battle, what she's got going on. There's going to be a decision that will have to be made in some time. That death card on the bottom. She's hanging in there. She is really trying to hang in there, and for now she is successful for the moment, but I don't think that this I think this really is kind of a road to heading into the other side, unfortunately. Yeah, Missy, I would say the same thing. You would think that, but it feels like all this muscle has wasted in her neck. The vocal cords, they just feel like they're wasted. They're not being utilized. I don't think that Sylvia, I saw your comment. I don't think it's from that. But I do think that maybe when she took the plunge during, the last few years, if you're picking up what I'm laying down, not to put too fine a point on it, but I do think that maybe there was some kind of injury from that. That's my opinion. I feel the same way about Bruce Willis. So there it is. So Richard Gere, let's switch it up and talk about Richard Gere. Hottie,
Switch gears.
my God, switch gears. That's what I need you for. Switching gears. We'll keep an eye on Celine. We'll see how she's doing. So Richard Gere, the question was, is Richard Gere going to do a new movie? And, it was so funny in the comment, and that's from Marie as well. I think Persnickety said, oh my God, I didn't realize how, I totally missed how hot he was in Pretty Woman. Breathless. Watch Breathless. Oh, whew. Super hot in Breathless. Oh, Grumpy. That's a myth. Yes, he did. Wifey did too. And it's supposed to be gerbils, guys, not hamsters.
Hamsters don't have a tail. Gerbils, not that I would know this, but for that reason.
I think you should stop. So let's see. Richard Gere, is he gonna do any new movies? He just seems like such a chill dude. I mean, he went on that whole Buddhism journey, didn't he? No, it's not looking like it. You know what, guys? I'm sorry, but he's really loving life the way it is. And, with that 7 of Wands in reverse, he doesn't want his whole life turned upside down. When you're filming, and I believe he's married too. When you're filming and when you go into these roles, so I actually, the lady who turned me on to tarot cards was a psychotherapist, and one of the things that she had said was these actors and actresses, they have very short marriages, and they mirror. It was very interesting. The life cycle of some of their marriages, or a good portion of their marriages, mirror the length of time it takes to make a movie, go into production and go through all the brouhaha and the premiere and whatnot. And I thought it was very interesting. And she said, essentially they will adopt that life cycle of their job. They don't have a job like somebody goes into banking and they work there for 40 years and then they retire, they get a gold watch and they go about their business. They go into these roles where they may be a biker for 3 years, 2 years, 6 months. And then there'll be a high school football player for a year and a half. It really does kind of make sense that this would be, almost like shift work. You would have to become a different person for every role, for every assignment, for every job. So you're kind of, getting into these roles. Now, that's not to say that everyone is a method actor and they actually become those characters. Jim Carrey is one. Johnny Depp also does a little bit of method acting, I understand. I think Jared Leto also is a method actor. So they actually kind of absorb the character and turn into the character. I didn't know that Richard Gere was in Chicago. I'm going to have to watch that now. I love Catherine Zeta-Jones. A friend of our family met her and said she was the most beautiful woman he ever saw in person. So I think that's a lot. For me, I saw Michelle Pfeiffer. I had a conversation with Michelle Pfeiffer at a school I worked in LA, and she was so flawlessly beautiful that I was almost speechless. So I think for him, coming back into the fray of Hollywood and production, I think is too much. It's too topsy-turvy. It's so hard for him to just kind of get back to being Richard. I think he has found who Richard is, and he does not want to lose that. He's very comfortable with it, and he'd like to sustain that. Under the surface, if the right offer comes along, he may consider it. He may not. I just feel like he's not really keen on getting back into that kind of discordant lifestyle, especially with all the work that he's done on himself. So Bradley Cooper, rocket. I hated Bradley Cooper. I hated Bradley Cooper until Guardians of the Galaxy. And it's for a good reason that I hated him. I hated him because he was so good in Wedding Crashers. He was such a good jerk that I was just like, oh, he's a jerk. I don't like him. Like, I wouldn't even watch The Hangover. I wouldn't even entertain it. Like, shame on me. So, Bradley, now I have a whole new appreciation for Bradley Cooper. He had to play a raccoon for me to get into him, but I love that little rocket raccoon. I love him. So Bradley Cooper, is he going to do work? Oh, Marie, you think it was the other thing? You think she was doing the other thing, huh? Huh. See, I thought it was the that we all got. But it definitely is because of a substance. Well, you know what? We're going to go back and take a look at that. So Marie, sit tight. We'll come back to that after Bradley Cooper. We'll come back. And I got my Alicia deck right up here. So we'll come back to it. So yeah, Catherine Zeta-Jones and Renee Zellweger, they both were singers coming up. So Bradley Cooper, are we going to see him acting? Where are you, Greg?
Brilliant.
Thank you. So, are we going to see Bradley Cooper back? I think Bradley Cooper wants to get behind the camera. I think he wants to start creating his own vision. But I think there's some resistance to that. I think people, he's on down the road. He'll be able to do it later. But I think he wants to get behind the camera and show what he sees. I think that's really what he wants to be doing. It's almost like he's graduated. Like he's like, I don't want to be on the JV squad anymore. I want to be on the varsity squad. I want to get there and really present what my vision is. As a writer, that's one of the things. Like, I am a writer. You guys, that you've heard it, but you haven't read anything of mine. So, because I just don't have it out there. But that's the thing. You really want to hand that baby over. I do have an IMDb profile though for a movie that I did write a script for that was in the Asbury Park Film Festival. So a friend of mine did it, but it's under Miranda Von Scuttlebutt. That is my nom de plume. So nom de plume. I said it right. That's like a damp squid. Lure? What's wrong with me? I'm not even drinking. Having flashbacks from we're having international happy hour on Friday. Oh boy, he said that's gonna be fun. So international drinking around the world. So Grumpy, you got to see the post I did on Facebook. First drink, last drink. Maybe we'll do that. We'll do videos of first drinks and last drinks and have a chuckle about it later. So I just think that until Bradley Cooper can really get behind that camera, he is not going to be satisfied, scratch that itch. So, all right, so let's go back to Celine. All right, so I think it's that, and Marie thinks it's the special potion. What do they call the golden potion? The golden potion. TD, no, Greg is painting. He's not in the chat. He is in the room. Greg, are you with us? Ooh. I can almost see you, Gregory. Oh. So, Celine Dion, was it the golden juice, or was it one of these? one of these. So left will be the golden juice, and the right will be the Humanaki, Humanaki, Humanaki. What did I say? Left is the golden juice. The right is the do golden juice. Wow. Ooh. And the right is the jibbity jab, jibbity jab. So this is kind of weird because I think they have something to do with each other. So yeah, the drink is definitely there. No regrets either. No regrets. But you have to do that to appease the leaders, that hierophant there. You have to do that. You have to partake. So yes, you have to be part of that party. Now, I do think that the jibbity jab was something that made you more vulnerable to things. More so if you had the, let's call it orange juice, if you had some orange juice, made you a bit more susceptible. So, Marie, there you go. There you go. What's that?
Why would you do that?
Why would you do what? Well, they don't tell you that.
But they're the elites. Why would they want
Well,
to be off their own?
Well, I just think it's just a matter of course. I think, just these things happen. The world is too much with us. I've been saying that for some time. The world is too much with us. Huh? Maybe there's people have a lot of bets going on the pools that are out there. Could be some pools out there. Could be some insurance out there. Remember, there's lots of people that have crazy insurance policies. So I'm going to jump over to our starred comments. Grumpy Sapper, we're starting with you. Is your song going to be a hit? Is your recorded song going to be a hit? Greg, are you feeling emotional? Grumpy wants to know.
Emotional?
Yes, emotional.
Emotional.
MEMULSIONAL.
I feel like I'm a film on something, like I'm Spread Tuesday.
I think so. So, Grumpy, is your song going to be a hit? Is it a hit? It's a hit with me. Oh. So I don't think this one. I think, what can we do to fix that? Sleep on it. Let me sleep on it. Baby, let me sleep on it. Britney is next, Penny. So sleep on it, and then we're gonna rewrite it, and then we're gonna re-release it. So it's like you're gonna have some fun there. So we'll have some fun with it tomorrow. I'm doing production tomorrow, so we can work on it tomorrow. I'll get up early for you. Sprout 519. My digital class is going to be available like in the next couple of weeks. So if you just sit tight, I have an in-person class, but the tuition is quite high and I don't have a class going right now. I don't have a class starting. So for the summer, I was going to do a digital class. It'll be very, very cost effective for you. So sit tight, and you will see that here. You will see me post that up here. So Grumpy, we're going to work on a rewrite for you, my dear. And let me go back to our starred comments. Marie, let's go back to this. There is a big rumor that Harry is not Charles' son. So will that make a difference? Well, if Harry is not Charles' son, yippee-ki-yay, he is out of the problem. He's not a problem anymore. He's not a problem. So, is Harry Charles' son? Oh, we're looking back, not nostalgia. All the clouds are cleared. And what's the last one? Oh. So, guys, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. I think if they dig deeply, they're going to find out that somebody doesn't belong to somebody else. So is that going to make a difference? Are they just, what do we do then? What do we do then? What do we do if we do a test and we find out that Harry is not part of the line of succession? Succession? Succession. He has to go to the wall? He has to go fight the White Walkers.
Probably Hadrian's Wall. So he only got to fight the Scottish. I mean,
that's still.
It's still pretty rough. But,
if you didn't hear that, Gregory said he has to go to the wall, and it's only Hadrian's Wall, and he has to fight the Scottish. So, oh, she did. Marie, you heard she did not get the thing. Get the thing. You know, the thing. The thing. I'm saying she did, though. I'm saying there was something that was going there. Everyone's saying dig. So that's the next question. Wifey, will they do DNA? Honestly, I would say no, they wouldn't, but the cards say yes, they would. This is a yes. This is, yeah, let's go for it. Let's open it up, pull some blood out, find out what's going on. Secrets are revealed, and holy crow, now we're in a weird spot, right? Nutty. So what would happen? Would they just say, bye-bye, Mr. American Pie, and now he's a dude without a nation? What would happen then? What would they do then? They all right, they wouldn't do anything. They would la la la, yeah. This would be such a huge moment, an ability for the royal family to do something totally unexpected. This would be Brad and Angelina breaking up. So I think they wouldn't change a thing. I think they would say, this is a person that has been raised as part of our family. And even though we're finding out things are not what they were presented, we're not going to keep the secret, but we're not going to cast this person out. We're going to honor the secret, and we're going to keep things status quo. They probably would hand him a bunch of money and say, you know what, here you go. You're fine. You're just stay there and do what you got to do. So, wow, that would be, well, could you imagine Meghan's face? Mariana, if you want a personal reading, you can make a contribution. I'm missing starring the comments. I'm going to star it and come back to it. Marie, yes, I do think she is still with us. I think Celine is still with us, but I think she's really fighting to stay on the earth plane. I think she is really fighting all of the craziness that's going on inside of her biologically. So, is this Angelina Jolie slap Meghan Markle at the Tony Awards? Was Meghan Markle there? When did this happen? The Tonys that just happened? I didn't hear anything about this. Where have I been? Well, I'm underground, right? Huh? I'm in an undisclosed location. Angelina slap anybody. Let's start there. Angelina slap. Anybody? Love that Angelina
One of the
Jolie.
5 fingers, say your face.
What?
One of the 5 fingers, say your face.
I don't know if it was a slap. There certainly was a threat hurled at somebody. I'm going to, you will never eat lunch in Hollywood again. There certainly was something cast out there. Now, the Fool, because he's at the beginning of the major arcana, is usually not a physical card. The King of Wands is fiery and angry, but not necessarily physical. If we had a King of Pentacles, I would say, yeah, maybe we got a slap. But the King of Swords is words that were thrown. I think she probably had some very choice words for her and told her to bang on or something like that. So I think that's what happened. I don't think that Angelina Jolie, listen, I don't think that she couldn't throw down back in the day. She's a little frail and skinny right now, but I don't think she couldn't throw down back in the day. So would not surprise me if she couldn't scrap. She's actually quite big too, Angelina Jolie. And it's my understanding that Meghan Markle is really only oh, Your Majesty. Meghan Markle is only about 5'5", that she lies about her age. Your Majesty, you are a... No wonder Camilla likes you so much. So my. So Mercury and Leo, let's talk about, yeah! James Hetfield. How's James Hetfield doing today? Yeah. Do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. For those of you that are not Metallica fans, James Hetfield says yeah about 1 million times in every single song. So, or no, not in every single song, but he says yeah in almost every single song. Some form of yeah. So how is that dude doing? Divorced, running around, sticking his pickle in everything that moves. What is he doing? Oh.
No, that's an AC sound.
Oh, that was an AC/DC sound, wasn't it? Oh, I love that Bon Scott. Sorry, Greg. So, are they working on music, Metallica? Do you know, Greg?
I've really worked on music in 30 years.
So, everybody's still talking about Harry's DNA. So let me just scroll up. Yeah, there was something about the Humanaki. Give me more. Oh wait, and I skipped Britney. I am so sorry, Penny. I totally skipped Britney. I got to go back to her. Humanaki, tell me more about that Kelly and Mark thing, because I don't know what that was. I kind of missed that. So we're going back to James Hetfield. We're still talking about James Hetfield. I think Mercury and Leo said they will be. So rumor. Yeah. So there's something about working on the music that they're kind of going back and forth. Now, I know like they're a cohesive band. I know there's not issues with players like there isn't like Motley Crue. But there's something that got in the way of the production of more music, of doing some more stuff. It's just going to be a bunch of road bumps and then they're going to get to it. But his mind is on work right now. He's very involved in like doing work, which is strange. And I think one of his kids is a musician as well. So I think that maybe he's kind of contributing some ability to that as well. So we'll keep an eye on Mr. Hetfield. Let's go back to give me more, give me more, Britney more. So we all know Justin Timberlake got in some trouble, right? Yeah, we all know about that. So how is Britney feeling currently? It looks like she's hanging out with her ex-fiance. And I don't know if she gave up the gardener. I can't call it, this is a garbage guy. He basically was cleaning up the yard. I don't know if she gave him up. We're talking about Britney for everybody that's coming in. Everybody that's coming in, give me more. Britney more. Britney more. So she was hanging out with that dude. Let's see if she's done with the gardener dude. I can't call him anything else. I can't even remember his name. I did not commit it to memory. I just can't. Hangman. She's learned from her mistakes. This is very, very helpful. She has taken a different route and she's secure in her bag. Okay, I'm wondering if when her jewelry went missing that maybe she snapped out of it for a minute and realized that this is not a good deal. So, Britney, girl. So, getting away from this dude is just, he is a facsimile.
Toxic?
Toxic. Nice. So, he is a facsimile of Kevin Federline. The only difference is that Kevin Federline was a bit more, had some potential in there. There was potential for him to actually do something. And he actually did try to, nurture the bag. He secured the bag and tried to nurture the bag as well. So this was, she got to see the negative side of the coin and decided she was going to keep her coins, let that dude move on. But I do think that there's like some kind of restraining order or something that's going to be coming up. I think she's going to have to, I think there's going to be calls, him trying to get back in, slip back in. But I think she's good on this. I think she got the hint. The ex-fiance, what was that all about? She was seen out with the ex-fiance, I believe, in Vegas. That was a good time. Oh, it was a super good time. We got 2 cards for this. We're just going to do that. Maybe drank a little too much. Maybe had a little too much fun. Maybe hopped in the sack. Left it feeling empty. So the little sojourn with her ex, I guess ex-fiance, I don't know if it's an ex-boyfriend, ex-fiance. Francois, I'm going to put your comment up there just so we know what we're reading about. Honestly, Sprout, how hard is it to call an Uber? I call an Uber. He had friends in the car in front of him. It was like completely ridiculous that he drove, but that's neither here nor there. So we're talking about Britney, not Justin. Justin's got his own issue. So with this ex-fiance that she got back, together, it was just a quick turnaround. Just a little bit of fun, trying to rekindle, not necessarily the lost feeling with that particular guy, but the lost feeling within herself. So, I think at the end of it all, she was left feeling very, very empty, and it didn't work. When we're younger, you fall in love for the weekend and you carry on, and there's no issues, there's no kids at the end of it all. You don't have to split a house, you don't have to split a bank account, you don't have to figure out who's going to pay for the health insurance or anything like that. You just kind of fall in love for the weekend and then go about your business. The problem is when you're Britney Spears, you have a lot. And people want that, and they want to kind of stay for Saturday, Sunday, and not go home on Monday, if you know what I mean. So let's see. Britney, what's my advice for you right now? What is my advice for you? So you're a little worried about Britney losing money, having too many vacations, celebrating her emancipation a little too much. So what should Britney do? Britney's got to give up the substances and get back to work. Okay. And that means, the Bloody Marys on Sunday, that kind of thing. Just leave the alcohol out of it. You still have the Bloody Marys. They're delicious. With the snappy peppy. I love the snappy peppy. She has to take more command over her life. She has to, that right now, she doesn't have a concierge. She doesn't have a concierge driving her existence. She doesn't have someone who's looking out for her. She's got security guards and people like that have been hired to protect her, but she doesn't have the good people in the driver's seat for the rest of her life. Goal setting would be super, super important for her right about now. She needs to sit down and say, where am I going to be next week? So my good friend, the fitness hutch, and his lovely wife Mel, I did their 30-day mindset course with them and got coached by them. One of the things that they had me do was I journal every morning, and they said, journal about what you want your day to look like. When you write down what you want your day to look like and you set the goals to establish that, it really does make a difference with how you approach your day if you have some goals. Now, with Britney, it doesn't look like there's a lot of goaling set for her. It looks like there's really a dearth of goaling. She needs to set the goals and not have the goal be, how can I celebrate my freedom today? That's really the opposite of what she should be doing. She, even though she is a tremendous celebrity and has toured the world and done amazing things and is beloved by so many, she does not have to do that anymore, except to prove to herself and to the rest of the world how well she can do it. She does need to prove it again because she's coming out of this. Now we get, I know she did the Vegas residency. That was long. In my opinion, it was forced, but she does need to have some work ethic. She can't be dancing on Instagram. She needs to have a life. Well, she needs to have a life goal, Francois. So, immediate goals for days, midterm goals for months, and then long-term goals for years. So, or decades, you could even do it in terms of decades. But she, right now, she's kind of drifting from fun thing to fun thing. She really needs to create a path so that she can hit some goalposts and people can go, oh, look at that. Britney's having a great time. She was on the beach. She was naked. She was tan. She looks terrific, but she's still doing her job. She needs to do that. So that is something that's going to take her a long way. This is such a weird thing, but she really needs Michael Jackson. She really needs somebody like Michael Jackson to coach her. Now I don't know if that's tapping into Janet Jackson. Janet Jackson kind of had the same career. I mean, she's had her own pitfalls and whatnot. She did have that. They both got screwed over by Justin Timberlake, but it's a weird thread that I pulled there. But she really, Michael Jackson, if Michael Jackson was still alive, he would have some great advice for her. So I really wonder if, Janet is enough of a solitary figure that she could go to Janet and kind of ask her. I really do think that she needs someone with some kind of advice that could help her out. What's under the surface? Under the surface right now, it's not about celebrating herself. It's not about celebrating her life. I know, I'm sorry, I brought up Michael Jackson, but I'm on the fence about Michael Jackson. I'm just saying. So, oh yeah, Debbie, we all, I saw that when it happened, and we all knew that he was talking about Britney. We all knew that. It is really not a nice thing. He's not a nice dude. A little bit mean. Little arrogant. Little arrogant, little broccoli head arrogant guy. So I like his wife though. I like that Jessica Biel. I think she's cute. But and he can dance. Can dance. Under the surface, she's the excess of fun is getting in the way of her being taken seriously. So again, I'm going to say, Britney, you got to turn that Instagram off. You can't be on that Instagram like this. So, all right, so let's go. We got more questions on there. So let me go back to my list. Yeah, persnickety, I do too. I do think that there was that whole thing when she was in um Mercury and Leo, Michael Jackson. So that whole thing when she was in Vegas, I think there was, there were that was she was forced to do that. So it's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. So that she was maintaining her whole family. So that's, sometimes that happens. So all right, let's talk about Sylvia's daughter question. So now I totally get this. So different readers will read different ways. So I'm going to demonstrate this to you guys. So, energetically, a lot of people were saying that Catherine, the Princess of Wales, was off the earth plane. Part of that can be the energetics that we're reading about her being undercover, and that was a sloppy shuffle with me cards all over the floor. I turned Irish. I leaned over and I turned Irish, Greg. What are you doing? Is that Irish? No, that was terrible. I only turn Irish after about 3 shots of Jameson. Then I turn Irish. So I'm gonna make 2 different piles. Okay, I can actually do this with 2 different decks too. So we'll do it with 2 different decks. Do that one. We'll do Ellen Cannon Reed too. It's I sounded Indian according to Grumpy Sapper. Don't you tell me to.
Mother bitch.
You mother bitch. So that's a funny story. Grumpy, Greg and I will share that with you if we haven't already. Did we? We already told? I think we did too. And that was after like the 10th drink. So, all right. So Ellen Cannon Reed, my most expensive, most precious deck. So I'm going to use this one.
It's the deck that goes bing.
It's the deck that goes bing. I lease it to Fortune Cookies Tarot so that I can take it out of the
capital budget.
The capital budget. Yes. So I'm going to read this deck like Princess Catherine is off the earth plane. It's Catherine off the earth plane. Okay. Empress in reverse, 7 of Cups, High Priestess. So the Empress in reverse can be not on the earth plane. The 7 of Cups, gaslighting. We've got crazy stuff going on. We've got a whole bunch of stories going on covering that up. And then the High Priestess on the bottom, we're guarding the threshold between light and dark, here and the beyond. So we've got that. So now we're reading that like it is, she's off the earth plane. Now I'm going to read it like she is sick and undercover. Okay. So Catherine, Princess of Wales, sick and undercover. Knight of Wands, she's not working. Page of Swords, we're going to be notified of that. And then under the surface, Moon, all will be revealed. So there we go. So this is how we can get different readings from the same reader. Not from the same reader, from different readings from different readers. So I know the questions were a little bit different, but I kind of hope that illustrates it for you. So this one, if I were to read this, like Catherine, Princess of Wales, is she sick? Is she sick and laid up? We get the Empress here, not well, in reverse. She's not feeling well. She's undercover. We get the 7 of Cups. There's going to be a lot of stories told, a lot of gaslighting. Not necessarily gaslighting, but a lot of stories, a lot of things that are going on. And then here, the High Priestess, now we're guarding between personal life and public life. So we go over here and we read this one as if it were... as if she were off the earth plane, We get Knight of Wands, not working. Things have happened. Page of Swords, something is cut off. She is not there. And the moon, all will be revealed again. So I hope that helped. I don't know. You guys tell me if that helps at all. Sylvia's daughter, I love having you in the chats. Thank you for your contribution. That was kind of a little lesson versus an actual reading, but that's kind of how it works. So, intuitively, I am certain that she is Humanaki. I was talking about that today on actually were we talking about that today? Yes, today it was on the Psychic News Report. You can go see, is Hillary Clinton going to replace Kamala? So very interesting. So Debbie and I did that reading. I loaded it up today. So but thank you, Sylvia's daughter. I hope that explains it. I hope that kind of makes sense there. I may even snip that and present it. Persnickety. When I teach tarot, every card has 6 meanings. So it's not just up and down. We have the upright, the inclining energy, and the declining energy. And then we have the reverse with the inclining energy and the declining energy. So, it kind of goes, there's really 6 meanings of all of the cards. So, it's kind of cool. So Sylvia's daughter, thank you so much. Let's see what's going on with Cliff Burton. Those of you who don't know who Cliff Burton is, I'm going to give him some Ellen Cannon Reed. Cliff Burton was the original bass player for Metallica. He passed away in what year, Greg? 86? 80, 86? 85? I might have been 14.
I think it was after Ride the Lightning. No, after Master Puppet. So when was I think I was 84, so 85 maybe around there.
Yeah, I think it was 80. I think I was 14. And I was with a good friend of mine, Steve Marufsky Zipperhead. Everybody knows him. Probably 5 people in the comments are going to be like, I know Steve. Great guy, huge presence on the music scene here in the tri-state area. Great guy. He's a terrific guy to have in your corner. And we had gone down to I think we were at City Gardens, and we went to go. City Gardens was one of the most dangerous punk rock clubs in America, and I was there 2 nights in a row every weekend while I was a child. So my mother had no idea. I just recently told her. She was like, oh, did you know about that CBGB's club? And I was like, that ain't nothing. City Gardens was 10 times worse. But it was in Trenton, New Jersey. It was right next to there was a soccer field that all these Latino bands, Latino players played at. And on the other side of the fence, there was a junkyard. And we used to jump the fence and kick in the car windshields with our Doc Martens and combat boots, and it was good punk rock fun. It was back in the days when I had like a big crazy mohawk. I looked good in a mohawk, so no regrets at all. So had a great time down there. But anyway, so one of the guys from the band that was playing got on the stage and said, "Hey, Cliff Burton just died in an accident, but don't tell anybody about it. We're not supposed to know." So I shouldn't be laughing. It wasn't funny. But it was like he told a room full of people. So what does Cliff Burton have to say? What does Cliff Burton have to say? So he's already moved on. He's already moved on to another incarnation. Let's ask if he's going to be a musician in this lifetime. Yes, but he's not going to be a successful musician. He's going to be a musician who does it for the love of being a musician. So I absolutely am getting more of the sense that he is the want is there. The want to be a big musician is there, but he's content to Grumpy, I don't know what you're apologizing for. I'm looking at like 3 different screens here, so I'm not sure what you're apologizing for. So he It's almost like he's like a club musician, but there aren't clubs like this anymore. Like we had one down in South Belmar, New Jersey, called Jason's Jazz and Blues Club. It was run by a guy named Mel Hood, who was one of the coolest guys ever. And Mel was really good friends with BB King. And when BB King played the Garden State Arts Center here in Holmdel, New Jersey, he would go to Mel's after and would do an after show there. And my uncle was friends with Mel before the club closed down. And he would give me the heads up when I was 21, 22. And I would go over there and meet my Uncle Dave, and we'd go see BB King play in a room that was probably the size of my living room. I mean, it was great. It was really fantastic. They actually had like a pretty good grill there from what I remember too. I remember ordering food there. And they had an open mic night. It was really great. This guy is that kind of musician. He is very bluesy, very intense. It could even be like country music, but he's playing in a smaller kind of like probably somewhere on that strip in Nashville. Nashville's got that really cool. I don't know. They call it downtown in Nashville there. Yeah, it's like kind of this strippy thing where they have like all these different clubs, different restaurants, different venues. So I get the sense that he's playing there, but it's like he goes home to like a regular house, an apartment. I think he has a day job, but he's playing for the love of playing. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing, not to be too held back by the trappings of being a rock star. Does he like Metallica in this new incarnation? Does he recognize his music?
I wouldn't do that reading.
Why?
Lars is going to sue you.
Why? Really?
Or should I say Lars?
You said Lars. You can't say it. No, I don't think that he recognizes his music. It's not his thing. It's not his thing. If he was presented with it, he would have some recognition of the technical genius that was there, but he would recognize it. But it's not his thing. It's not the kind of music. He doesn't have that on his Spotify or anything like that. He doesn't have a Metallica thing on his Spotify. So that was fun. That was fun. All right. So what else do we have here? Oh, we already did that one. M's. We got a personal reading for M. I'm trying to read this. Am I on the right path with my horses? In general, not health. We're on top of that. But what can I do to improve their situation? Is Andrew's shoes the new relationship? I'm not sure who Andrew's shoe is, but take a look at it. So let's see if you're on the right path with the horses. I just want to put my selenite on this Ellen Cannon read deck since we did a little bit of channeling on it. And guys, thanks for sticking with me. We're doing great. We're coming up on 2 hours. I hope everybody's having a good time. Thumbs up if you're having a good time. Thumbs up if you're having a good time. I'm going to go back to the regular chat and just see. Bruce Willis is not doing that well. I'm just going to... Everyone wants to know about Bruce Willis. Riley Keough. Hang on. I'm scrolling up. Grumpy, what did you say? Please pass and share Annabelle amongst your friends. Okay, sure, why not? Mercury and Leo says, yeah, they were touring for Master of Puppets when they were in the bus accident. I couldn't remember if it was Ride the Lightning or Master of Puppets. Those albums were so different in terms of production. Still like Kill 'Em All. My cheerleading squad did a pom-pom routine too. Which song was it? Seek and Destroy. That was it. I was like, was it Hit the Lights? No, I tried to get the cheerleaders that I coached to do a pom-pom routine to Hit the Lights. But we wound up doing it to like a Muse song. I was outvoted. So on the right path. M on the right path with her horses. Let me see. What do we got here?
Meet on the right trail.
On the right trail. Gregopedia corrected that. Are you on the right trail with your horses? He's always here to help. So,
is that what that's called?
So it is called help. So so I know I use this phrase from the movie The Patriot all the time. Aim small, miss small. You need to aim large, miss large. So essentially, go back to the drawing board, because what you're doing is you're not looking at the end goal when you are establishing the curriculum. And when I say curriculum, I know you're not really just teaching horses, you're kind of doing the rehabilitation and kind of reacquainting them with touch and experiences with humans. So basically what we need to do is go look, get a raptor view from it. I want you to come on top of the situation. Every single one is individualized. So go up into the air and look at the whole situation. Look at everything. My comments are scrolling like crazy here. Hi, Jamie Lee. Jamie Lee, if you stick around, I'll give you a couple cards for your first time here coming over from Alicia's channel. It's nice to have you here. We had a great time last Friday. So we have to step back from it and not look at the tasks quite so much, not so much detail on the tasks at hand, but you have to look at the goal that you want to get to with the horse and then deconstruct from that goal. So it's almost like if you wanted to do, say you were a diver, okay? You were a diver and you wanted to do a triple flip off of 3-meter board. So what you would have to do is first learn how to do that single flip. And then you would have to learn how to do the double flip. Or a 1.5. You would have to kind of work up from there. And so you would work out the kinks of each of those different dives as you built up to the triple flip. So look at the goal, how you want the goal to look. So say it's a horse that is head shy because of poor use of a bridle, or maybe a spade was used in the mouth, something like that. You would have to go back to simple things, not using the bridle, maybe just using like a head halter, going to that. And in some cases, you may even go, I think, to just having some kind of apparatus on the back, steering with your legs. I have limited knowledge of horses. I did take basic equestrianship, but I took it in college, and my mom was an equestrian, so she did make me ride. I almost died on a horse one day, though, so it's a whole other story. Essentially, the end goal is where you need to start with your curriculum with these individual. Again, they're individual cases. Aim big. Aim big, because when that end goal is a stretch goal for the individual horse, when that goal is a stretch goal, then you can always make modifications as you take the steps to get there. There is something about throwing out the learning that you have already gotten into, I want to say the habits that you have gotten into with your practice. So some things you're going to have to cull, not horses, but some practices you're going to have to cull and prune from your practice.
It is the easiest part of veterinary school.
That's not funny, Greg. So there are going to be some techniques that you're going to put by the wayside. They're just not going to be valuable for you. You're going to figure out different ways to work around that, thinking outside the box, beyond the box on this one. Up here, you are headed in the right direction. The development of your technique is headed in the right direction. So have no fear about that. And absolutely, your heart's in the right place. So you're doing all the right things. So don't be worried about the intent or the focus of what you're doing. That is all good. You're doing the right thing that way. Just you may have to make some changes to your technique, but this is part of professional development. I want you to look at it that way. It's professional development. When I was dog training, the gentleman that I did my apprenticeship with, we both went to the same school, but we went 20 years apart. And the technique had changed significantly from the time that he got certified and the time I got certified. So when I came back, I had a lot of different ways to psychologically work with dogs and work with their brain, steer with their brain, not with their head, not with their neck. And I would say that to my clients all the time. You have to steer with your dog's head and not with their neck. So coercive training was something, and this is historically with horses too. There was coercive training. We've come a long way. We understand how animals think a lot more. So I would also reach out and try and talk to them psychically as well, because when we're with animals for a certain amount of time, we can start to understand them psychically. So if you need any tips, just email me. I can give you some help. One of my cousins is an animal communicator, but I think everyone should give it a shot themselves. Humanaki, I guess, is leaving. Humanaki. Oh, we'll see you later. Bye, Humanaki. Taking off in the airplane, in the UFO. It's Nibiru's here. She's going back to her home planet. So Andrew Shoes. Is this a real relation? I have no idea who this person is. So let's see. Andrew Shoe. There was an Andrew Shoe that I knew from, was he a rat packer? Or
Elizabeth Shoe.
Oh yeah, she had a brother.
Did she?
Yeah, she did. Well, he was on not Party of Five, Melrose Place. He was on Melrose Place. So forgive me. I'm gonna look up Andrew Shoes before I start doing a reading for Andrew Shoe. Let me just see who this Andrew Shoes is. Andrew Shoe. Oh wait, no, it's exactly the guy that I'm thinking of. He's an American actor and he's a soccer player. Who? So Amy Robach reveals real reason for marriage breakdown. All right. So Andrew Shoe, rebound relationship. Who is he with? He's really cute. So Marilee Fiebig, his former spouse, Amy Robach and TJ Holmes, who publicly revealed their affair. Source close to the couple told US Weekly that their romance is not a rebound, but a genuine connection, and that they are happy together. He really is cute. He's very cute. So Andrew and Marilee. Let's see. They're being very careful. And here's the betrayal in the past. So, all right. So I have a good feeling about this from this spread. So they're both being very careful because they actually know what they want. They know what they want in a marriage. Having the infidelity, both of them had infidelity from their former spouses. So, knowing that they already had these marriages and they knew what they were going to what their future was going to look like. Again, goal setting here. So under the surface, there is some concern about, with the Two of Pentacles here, about establishing a life together. So I think that they're going to take their time. Pentacles are always very slow. So we have 7 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, 2 of Pentacles. They're very, very slow. Up top, we have the 5 of Pentacles. Nobody's fallen for a banana in their tailpipe on the next one. So this is going to be a very slow moving relationship. I don't think that they're going to jump in and get married right away. It may peter out with this Ace of Cups. It just doesn't look like there's going to be a wedding anytime soon. So, I don't want to say that the relationship's going to fall apart. Let's do a few more. He is very gun shy. That may be his undoing, but this is a marriage card right here, boys and girls. detachment and marriage. So hope is that we detach from the whole thing. Other people see him as a bit disruptive. He is a bit undecided, not sure where he wants to go. So I think this is immediate future. I don't think we're going to see a relationship finalized anytime soon, but I do think in the future we could see more of a formalization of the relationship. So we may see that. So interesting. They're both very reserved on this, but they both like each other. You can't um be in a marriage for a length of time and think this is where you're going to be, this is who I'm going to wake up with, for the next 30-40 years, and then all of a sudden have the rug pulled out from under you. You already know where you want to go, you already know what your goals are and where you want to wind up. So I think that was a great question. So thanks, Em. I hope I answered it well. OI TNB. I don't know what that. Who's Taryn Manning? Orange is the New Black. Yes. I never watched it. You know me. I still haven't seen The Sopranos or Tiger King. Well, all you people were having a great time watching the Tiger King during the pandemic. I was working my butt off at my other job. I had people calling me all day long, texting me, "Oh my God, are you watching Tiger King?" I'm like, "No, I'm actually working. Sorry. I'm so glad that your jobs have just furloughed you and you're just hanging out in your house, drinking cocktails and watching the Tiger King. Good for you." So, Taryn Manning, was she telling the truth about having that golden elixir? She telling the truth about that? So yeah, there's some weirdness that goes on with her. But she's the powers that be don't like when you have conversations about that. So in the spirit of my celebrity, I'm not going to talk about this anymore. So no, they just didn't like that this was out there. But at the same time, they're going to let her spin this yarn and kind of let my bangs are. I just had them cut again, so they're kind of all over the place. They're going to let her spin this yarn and let people think that she's a little, everybody got that right. Cuckoo. So everybody's sticking around. This is fantastic. We're going on 20 minutes to 9. So wife of a grumpy Marine. What about the fight between Tyson and Jake Paul coming up? Yeah, like it's so weird. Let's see if it's staged. Let's see if this is staged. It just doesn't feel right. I kissed Mike Tyson on the cheek on his birthday. I was out in New York I was on a date. Sorry, Greg. I was out on a date once upon a time. And recently? What's that?
Recently?
Not recently, no. I think I was 22. I might have been a little bit older.
I was only like 4 then.
Wow. Really? Went there, huh? Roar. Hear me roar. Greg said he was 4 when I was 22. That's not true. He's not that young. Oh, one of my clients said you're very good looking, though. One of my clients that saw you.
Your clients?
Yes.
Are people of exceptional taste.
Yes. Greg said my client was a person of exceptional taste, but yes, Gregopedia, one of my clients, saw him and said, "He's so handsome and he's so much bigger than I thought, even though you say he's big." Well, he didn't have his pants on. So all right. So is this fight? He said, "I'm not built like the other Asians." Greg.
What a tall.
You are tall. You are tall. You're a very tall Japanese guy. So, for those of you that are new, my husband is Japanese. He's half Japanese.
Which according to the Japanese is not Japanese at all.
Well, it's Japanese to me. You look Japanese.
I'm the most Japanese in the room.
You are the most Japanese in this room. Actually, we have the samurai sword, so no, you're not.
I'm pretty sure they were made in China.
Oh, stop it. Oh, okay. So Mike Tyson, Jake Paul fight. Is it real or is it Memorex? Who remembers that? Now I'm showing my age. Ella Fitzgerald? Did she say that?
She did the Memorex commercial, didn't she?
I don't remember that. I don't remember her doing it.
That was her. She was like scatting into the
Boopity boop.
and then just into the microphone and then replayed it and then shattered the glass.
Oh, okay. No, I don't remember that. I just remember the glass breaking. I don't remember the rest of it. So, is this fight real? I think that the fight is real. I think all of this brouhaha that they're doing out, it's just to build up the steam for the fight. I don't believe that they're going to just let Jake Paul do whatever he wants. Is Mike Tyson going to annihilate him? Let's see that. Not necessarily. Is Jake Paul going to win? No, I think this is going to be a draw between them. I think it's just the hype that they are going to just build up the hype. Oh, so wifey, yes. So I was at a club in New York. I was brought to this very exclusive club on this date. And it was for my birthday, which is a couple of days before Mike Tyson's. And we walked in and it was the club was exclusive upstairs. And then there was a bar in the basement, like a VIP bar and lounge. And we went down there and my date, who I was a family of note. He was part of a pretty big mover and a shaker family in Manhattan. And he said, "Oh, Mike Tyson's in here." And I go, "Oh my God, it's his birthday." And he goes, "How do you know that?" And I go, "Everybody knows it's Mike Tyson's birthday." And he goes, "Oh, okay." And I said, "I'm going to go over there and say happy birthday." And so I went over and I shook his hand. I leaned in, I gave him a kiss and I said, "Happy birthday, Mike." And he said, "Thanks."
And then he punched you in the face.
And then he punched me in the face. No, he didn't
You
punch me.
woke up 10 years later.
He did not punch me in the face. He said thanks and tra-la-la. So yeah, so that was what happened. So it was an interesting evening, let's say that. So Mariana, what awaits you in the coming months? What awaits you in the coming months? Actually, I'm gonna do something else here. Do major arcana. Major arcana, major arcana. 15 minutes, guys. 15 minutes. I got to go because I got a reading on the West Coast. So I'm dropping off at 9. I really appreciate everybody being here. So if you want your readings, get them in. Post them up. And if you would like your own private personal reading, there is a link in the description of this video. You can book an hour session with me live for 20% off all summer long, sugar. Mariana, learn from the lessons of the past. And really learn from the lessons of the past before you make connections with others. So essentially, the Hermit and the Hangman, they both are ruminating on lessons, things that are learned, experiences with other people. So when we get these two cards, we really have to be careful about how we process our information and our behavior. Now here we've got the lovers that come together, which it can be lovers, you know, people, friendships, relationships, but it can also be businesses, those kinds of things. So if we don't learn from the lessons of the past, we are doomed to repeat them. So go back into the poorest situations or the best situations in your life. And I want you to look at how the pieces of the puzzles affected you and affected those around you. And then make your judgments. Because if we don't study our past, we are doomed to repeat it. Debbie and I were talking about that in the video that's going to drop at midnight tonight on PNR. It's the meeting between Putin and Kim Jong Un in North Korea. So we talk a lot about, WWWs. We talk about the number 2 one, and we talk about the potential number 3 one. So if we don't review what we have done in the past, if we don't study the behavior of ourselves and of countries and those sorts of things, we are doomed to repeat it. So Mariana, the order of the day is for you to stop for a moment and look at the situations that best served you and best served those around you, and recreate those situations as you move forward. That is really what's coming up for you in the next few months. These are lessons that, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get the camera back in focus. These are lessons that you need to learn. Toot sweet, my dear, toot sweet. So there we go. I'm just going to scroll down. I'm going to see what else we have here. So Jamie Lee, I'm going to give you a read. Sweetie pie. And I'm even going to use the Ellen Cannon read. The most expensive machine in the hospital. Bing. This is a super rare deck. 1989 Ellen Cannon Reed deck. It is the reason why I save all the boxes and inserts for all of my tarot decks, because if I saved the insert and the box for this one, it would be worth like $1,000. But I did not, and so it is not. It's only worth about $500, but I would never ever sell it. Has some water damage on it too. So this will probably go in the coffin or in the incinerator with me. Or Greg, if you're going to put me in like a 55-gallon drum someplace, just put the cards in with me. Okay.
Oh, it's $500.
What do you mean it's $500?
$500. You just said they're worth $500.
You're going to sell my deck?
I'm not gonna throw $500.
I'm so going to haunt you. Coming back and I'm haunting you. I better have good ghost clothes.
Warhammer I could buy with $500, probably like 1 or 2 sets.
Yeah, I know. Talk about Warhammer.
I could get the Lego ribbon down.
You know what I want for my wedding anniversary? A garbage compactor. Gregopedia has a traumatic story with a story with a garbage compactor and toys. Huh? Keep talking. All right, I gotta wrap this up. So Jamie Lee. Jamie Lee is a new visitor from Alicia's channel.
Oh, hello, Jamie Lee.
We love Alicia. We have a great time with Alicia. Greg really came out of his shell when Alicia and I started doing dueling tarot, because he would be down here painting or gaming, and he saw us having such a great time that he started chiming in. Before that, he was not a voice on my channel. So, Jamie Lee, some advice for you. Ooh, 9 of Cups, the Wish card. 10 of Pentacles. 10 of Wands in reverse. Jamie, do you want to move? Are you looking to pick up your roots and go? Is that like a wish of yours? Because if it is, if you're looking for a wholesale change, it looks like now the time is nigh. Things could be very, very mobile right now. Oh, E Luna, hang on. I will answer that. You've thought about it. Okay. So, if you want to pick up your roots, so the 9 of cups is a wish card that gives us everything we want. It says clear the decks, universe, we're ready to give you whatever you want. You can be able to do that. So we can pull up our roots and our legacy and cast off at the same time with the 10 of wands in reverse all of the burdens of that. So like if you were a person of an age, I would say like maybe you're an empty nester and you're going to downsize, you're going to make things a little bit easier, go from a big house with 4 bedrooms to like a condo with their own pool. Like you can go and have somebody else take care of the pool. My son, he's a lifeguard, and he was working at a 55 and over community, and he was like, Mom, this place is really nice, like we should move you here when you turn 55. I go, oh, that's so nice. I go, but you can't live here. He goes, no, I'm gonna stay at the house. I was like, oh, really? How lovely for you. So he's gonna stay here and take care of the house and send me off to an adult community. So Greg, I guess you're going too. Yeah. No, he just thought it would be really nice. So I, thought it was good there. So, we can pick that up. Now, the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. In this deck, it's a little bit different because, of course, it's Ellen Cannon Reed, that wonderful woman. We lost her over the pandemic, too. I think it was over the pandemic. So, oh, and this light's on. Let me just tap that off. So this is blockages. There are things that are holding back. So, when we get to fives are a chaotic and unstable kind of number. We're kind of unstable there. But when we go into reverse, we get stable chaos, if that makes sense. So this is something that is on rails, something that is easy to move along. So even though it's disruptive, like a move or like a job change, even though it's disruptive, there's still some kind of structure to it. So that's where we are with this. Up top, the Hanged Man in reverse, complicated card when we get it in reverse. So because the Hangman is already in reverse, he's already seeing things from a different angle. So when we go into the reverse of the reverse, we wind up seeing things from all angles, from the 5th dimension, and kind of getting a almost like an out of body view at it. So it's pretty cool. And under the surface, the Prince of Wands. Under the surface, you feel like this is something that's not really doable. But it is. It's absolutely doable. It just needs to be planned out. Just because this, grace has been given and says, Grace, she died 30 years ago. So Greg says that every time I say grace. So just because this grace has been given doesn't mean like, okay, just jump and do it. Have some planning. There's still some agency, even if the cards say, hey, these are cool things that you can do. So I hope you enjoyed that, my dear Jamie Lee. I'm so glad you came over from Alicia's. Alicia and I have very, very similar followers. And what I mean is like, we're not all of the same mind. We're not all of the same concepts, but what we do have in common is that we're all very tolerant of everyone having different ideas and different perspectives in tarot and also in psychic work. So it's pretty cool. It's one of the reasons that I love Alicia so much is because she's very much like me. She's a very practical kind of person. Being in a spiritual vocation, a lot of people, they can get like a little too lofty and they can get a little arrogant about it. And they're like, well, I'm like doing all the work and I don't eat meat. I haven't eaten meat since like 1963. Well, guess what? I do eat meat because every now and then you need to bring yourself down to terra firma. If I ate, leafy greens all the time, it's so many greens. Where's the meat? So if you eat leafy greens, just eat it. You just eat leafy greens all day long. With Ayurveda, you get very, very, very lofty and very ethereal. So sometimes we do need to come back down to terra firma. I do that, eat root vegetables, potatoes, carrots, those kinds of things. Onions will work. Shallots, my favorite. And vodka is, also very grounding, believe it or not. Grapes are both lifting and grounding. They're lifting when we eat the grapes because they hang in the air. They're grounding when we drink them as wine because we squish them. So, there's lots of things like that. Meat is grounding because the hooves on the animal are on the ground, and they're very heavy and working with that gravity. So I do need to eat a piece of meat every now and then. I do need to do that. So sometimes we run into people that are like, no, you got it wrong. I've met a few spiritual individuals, content creators on here who have come for me with guns ablazing. So you got to roll with the punches. So just let me see. Yeah, we're not going to talk about Justin Timberlake. I'm going to do a video on him. Humanaki, I'm going to do a video on will Clinton replace Biden. Bruce Willis, I'll do a video on him. If someone quits, I'm going to pull down my card view unless something comes up. I can always pop it back up. So if someone quits tarot, one of the things you can do is you can give that deck to someone. Somewhere there is a witch in need of a tarot deck. You can do that. A witch. So I'm not a witch. I'm not a witch. Ellen Cannon Reed was though. So it's a very cool deck. So because you weigh more than a duck, the same as a duck. So you can through thrift books. Thrift books actually takes used books. They have a beta program going on right now. I love thrift books. I buy a lot of books through them. But they have a buyback program right now that's a beta test, and I believe they will take cards. You can also flip them on any of the your Facebook Marketplace or eBay, anything like that. You can flip them on that. There's lots of people that would like to get their hands on a deck for a discounted rate. I would just throw some salt on them for a little bit, maybe some selenite, maybe throw a little bit of some sage leaves in the bag. I almost knocked everything over. I'm still almost knocking little sage leaves in the bag. Not lit on fire. I'm like a disaster over here. I'm a disaster. So you absolutely can do that. Some people will go and bury them in the yard. Some people will burn them. Honestly, a lot of decks are plastic coated. This one is not. It is not plastic coated, but one of my favorite decks is an all plastic wrinkle free deck. So that I couldn't bury. I couldn't burn, not that I would do that. In the event that something happens to me, I do have to put this in my last my last witches for you, Greg. If anything were to happen to me, I would want Greg to let my spiritual friends have first crack at the collection, and then from there on out I would say flip the rest of them, sell them, do an auction at my funeral. How about that? Do a live stream and at my funeral, and you could sell all my decks. Could auction them off because they're all infused with magical purposes. But then I would be helping you guys out with your readings. How cool would that be? I don't know if that would happen. Maybe I might have other things to do at that time. I don't know. And Marie, no, it is not my first live. I do a lot of lives. I actually started out on YouTube doing more lives than recorded videos. More lives than deads, as Greg said. So I did I do things as premieres, and Grumpy wants the lamp behind me. Grumpy, I actually have two of them. There's a pair. So you can get the pair. We will send you. Grumpy's going to put his sticker on that. Oh, Shelly's here. Hi, Shelly. So those of you that are new coming over from Alicia, Shelly is one of my good friends. She lives around the corner from me. Greg said he needs a haircut. He's shaggy. He's shaggy. Yoinks. She wanted to come over on Friday. So looks like you're coming over Friday. Cool. Come on over. And she's going to do the international happy hour with us. Yeah. So I told her, I said, we still have some of your green teas here. She goes, nobody drank those. I said, I tried. I didn't like them. So Grumpy, you're going to meet Shelly on Friday. She'll be over here. So, but in the meantime, guys, I'm going to do some more production for you tomorrow. So, she goes for some cuts and some booze. So I'm going to do some more production for you on Friday, tomorrow. Because Friday I am going to be in an international happy hour all day long with Grumpy Sapper right here, our good friend, and she has to learn the song. Shelly, there's a song. We have a song. And Saturday I am open for business for readings. So no, Grumpy, it's green tea with liquor in it. So yeah, green tea with liquor in it. So tomorrow I will do a bunch of production. So look for videos from me tomorrow. I'll post up a bunch during the day just to make up for being lame this whole week. And I may clip this video a little bit and put some of them up as well. And what else? What else is going on? Saturday. I have plenty of time to do readings as well. Sunday, I think I still have a little bit of time. Okay. So Shelly, that's okay. We're gonna fill you with green tea so that you can sing well. All right, Bubala. So everybody, I am gonna go my merry way. I've got a reading with a client on the West Coast, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Grumpy Sapper, I'm gonna get ready for sleep. So I'm gonna rest up for Friday. I know I'm gonna have to rest up. I may even get up and get early and have some Bloody Marys with you in the morning. So it's nice to see everybody. I will see you next Wednesday. I may do another live. I've got both kids have to have their wisdom teeth taken out. So I've got one on the 25th and one on July 11th. So I'm going to be taking care of them. So everybody in my life has ice on their face right now. So it's pretty wild. All right, guys, I will see you later. Have a good night.